Hello, everybody, and a very warm welcome back to Formula Fun Sim Racing. My name is Abby, and for once again, I'll be on the commentary mic for round 2 here for the Chinese Grand Prix. Alright then, just before we get started, let's have a look at the driver standings. Zenzoku leads ahead of everybody with Scrubbins in P2. Obviously, pretty much the results from race 1, but still we got to have a look at it. So Dad Racer just joining us for this week. 0 points, 2 for Footy, 4 for Fly Scots, 10 for High B, 12 for the AI, 15 for Spliff. It was 2024 High B took victory in China, 25 it was Zenzoku. Who is it going to be in 2026? We're about to find out. Let's go on track and get started. Who is it going to be then? Scrubbins on pole, Zen in P2, Flyscott in P3. It's about to get started. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 red lights, and we go racing here in China. How good of a start has Scrubbin had, or is Zen going to be a better start there? At the back, there's a couple of drivers going through, but Scrubbins has got a decent start into it. Then when he leads ahead of Zen, ahead of Flyscott, with a couple of AI drivers in P3 and 4. Oh, in fact, P4 and 5 right there. Well, there's a couple of drivers at the back as well. Spliff, High B, and Footy, along with Dad Racer, who has joined us this week as well. I mean, obviously, Footy at the very back of the grid with High B.
AI.
They'll be side by side at this point with the top 3 running away from others.
So that Formula ride-in needs a red card or something.
Fighting each other with Dad Racer in P6 while the 2 AIs are after the top 3 in between, and they've got all gone through and got off the line pretty nicely, and a very good start right here in this race now. Alright then, so as far as starting grid and tyres are concerned for all these drivers, it is only Fly Scott who started on the hard compound tyre, while every single other driver has started on the medium tyre. So no tyre advantage or strategy differences, at least apart from Fly Scott, who could possibly be a bit quicker when these guys come into the pits or their tyres drop out. Otherwise, this looks brilliant, and I think that is going to be an equal fight in terms of tyres, while Scrubbins currently leads ahead of Zen and is looking quite strong, or is he though? Zen might come back at him around the outside. It could have been a chance for a move, as if Scrubbins runs a little bit wide. That could also allow Zen to come back at him again, as Zen slightly has a bit of a snap of oversteer, catches the car back in control. That Fly Scott right behind these guys, while we have Dad Racer, High B, and Footy at the outside the top 5, these guys. But the actions are happening, and it is all going on in these couple of first laps so far. Quite calm start. I'd say on the calmer side the race has started, in terms of, nobody's going for heroics into turn 1 or a bit too much than what they shouldn't try, but I think it's been a decent one, and there's going to be a bit of collision between High B, I believe. I'm not sure if that's an AI or High B, but that has to be some out there. Yep, that was High B. Just needed confirmation, and sure we got in our ear. That is High B indeed. Slightly trying to go for a move. Hey, not really finding it easy. Meanwhile, there's a car in front of them. They could try and get past. Well, there's Footy behind as well, but I believe High B's got a AI in front of them and an AI behind. So it is High B then by themselves currently racing, unless Dad Racer could be caught up by these guys. But Dad Racer is far away, and I think he's behind these AI cars right now in P4 and 5. Just then, there's going to be a car going at the very back. I wonder if that was Dad Racer or somebody else, straight into the barriers at the back. That would be an incident that's going to put a huge dent, and indeed it was Dad Racer, as we see their car tumble down to the bottom of the grid and get to P10. and that's how you know. Just on the exit there, they lost it on their own. Now High B has got a chance to make some overtakes right here, unless he gets overtaken by the car behind, while there's 3 cars and 2 of them have the DRS. High B's nearly going to go into the back of the car in front, but just on the inside line, move will be done, and they get the overtake done, unless they get overtaken by again, if the cars come behind them, do a bit of an attack and try and come back to High B, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So doing a brilliant job so far, at least doing a nicely at getting an overtake, but they might be in a bit of trouble with the driver coming behind them, and yes, the AI will get past them, and the overtake will get done by the AI. They're still side by side, wheel to wheel action between the two. Who is it going to be though? Is it going to be High B, or is it going to be the AI to try and get past, try and get the overtake? So far High B has kept it to himself and in control in P3 right there. Not sure for how long is that going to stay, but that stay won't be for too long. Rather, it is what you need to do. As there's a bit of an a bit of a replay to see what exactly happened. I think that's Dad Racer we're watching on the replay. Oh no, in fact that might be Footy, and it is Footy. He's run absolutely wide and nearly takes out Dad Racer there, as we had a bit of a replay to see what exactly happened, and that sees Footy to be back down in P10. Well, we're back with racing action and live action now with Zen, who is over a second behind Scrubbins now. Scrubbins showing some very good speed and promise early on in this season. Last season he was the second best driver to Zen. He pretty much had very good speed as well at certain tracks, or even almost every week it was him who was closer to Zen and possibly giving him the fight. But then biggest issue I think it was with his mistakes, which he possibly just ended up making, which he would not run away from. You know, whatever he could try, he was not able to make up of those mistakes. And I think that was possibly the reason, if anything, was to stopping him being closer to Zen. Now, currently, he does run in P2 here, and if he's able to manage this P1 for a longest of times, and somehow, you know, still manages to keep Zen behind and gets the victory to himself, that would be interesting. But we'll have to watch out, because nothing can be said. We're only 4 laps into this race. 3 laps have been done, and this is lap 4. So pretty much calling out anything right now would rather be a guess than anything, or, you know, a guess rather, you know, more like a guess or more like a personal thing rather than actually a prediction right here, because we're only 4 laps in. It'll be interesting to see what the second stint is going to be for these drivers as well. Also, every single one of them starting on the same tyre could be, especially between Zen and Scrubbins there, while the Dad has went down once again as they've lost their car. Slightly having a bit of a hard time trying to keep it in control. And High B is in P5, rather P6, with Footy and Racer down in P9 and 10 at the bottom of the position, slightly finding it a little bit harder to keep it on track. Rather, they're doing their job, while High B is now also catching up to the AIs in front as well. Yeah, I mean, now it's the state of the race where it's kind of things starting to get normal. Probably somewhat overtakes if there's a chance for the drivers, but pretty much everybody's in their own race. The top 2 are in their own race. 1.4 seconds, if I could read that correct. Zen and Scrubbins, that might be the longest of gaps we've seen this season between the top 2, while Zen is not in the lead and he's in P2. Meanwhile, High B now might try and get whoever he moves right there in front out there. Unable to do so. He's got 2 AI cars in front of him, with both. One of the drivers ahead of him does have DRS. IB himself does have DRS as well. This could get exciting. Just when we were thinking about maybe the charm and overtakes or racing might not be coming alive anytime soon, High B comes to the rescue and possibly gets the job done. Tries to try and you know, make the most of it right here. But how long is that going to be the case for him, or for you know, how much longer can he stay behind before he eventually has to make the move? Because he can stay behind these guys, but staying behind AI drivers, knowing he could possibly have the speed to get past them, to get an overtake on them, potentially, I think it's not going to do much. But oh, there could be a chance though. Once again, High B getting ever closer to the AI driver, sends it on the inside line. He will get past though, but he might run a little bit wide. That could allow from the car behind to come back right there. Could get exciting. Well, the AI is already looking like trying to come back right here. There could be a chance for him, but no, not this time. Maybe onto the long grey straight. long back straight, which is going to give the AI a chance with the DRS enabled on their car. So the point I was trying to make was probably, for them to probably staying behind the AIs for a little bit longer, they're going to ruin their tires. They're going to, possibly, sure, they've got a huge gap to the top to P3, but still there could be a chance that the AI driver pulls down on the inside line, and he will get past High B there, and the overtake will be done. High B, what he gained for a couple of corners is lost, or maybe not, as he's going to try and come back around the outside. Into the final corner we go. Who is it going to be in front? They nearly make contact. They almost do make contact, but High B just gets it back in control, and P6 that is for them, or P5 it turns. Back AI is again with that DRS and railing opening on that AI car. He's going to be past him, so definitely I was about to say that he's going to feel he's stuck behind, but at the moment he might have to forget about that, rather try and fight them, because the car in front nearly has as identical pace as High B at the moment. So definitely that is really looking quite strong, this bit of a fight which we're seeing in this race. 6 laps in out of 14, quite a while to go so far. Still more than half of the race is remaining, but still pretty much we're at halfway distance, 14 laps. So as soon as we're done with this and the next lap, 7 laps in, this is going to be interesting. Meanwhile, High B now tries to get a move around the outside right here, one of the most difficult places to get an overtake around the track, and he gets it there, and the overtake has been done. The moves comes up, while the AI driver now might try and come back at him. I think the best High B can do is let the AI overtake, take the DRS off him in the detection point, but possibly not the case this time, as it's again High B is going to be the one who will possibly have to concede the plays right here when the DRS gets enabled, unless somehow he's got it in from the car in front, but I don't think he has, so that AI would possibly be getting closer, and it indeed is now just overtaking him right there. No, in fact, yes, indeed, he's not overtaking. He's overtaking him, staying ahead and getting the job done. Or maybe what is going on here? There's a lot happening right here. While at the back, High B has in fact got him past the AI back again and got the overtake done. And more things have started to happen in this race. A couple of drivers fighting at the back as well. So many moves happening now, and we're yet to make pit stops, as there's going to be the AI going for it on the inside line. Nearly sends it into turn 1, but High B still just manages to keep it in control and ahead of the driver there, and that will be High B in P5 for the moment. Alright then, now they're keeping it through, now getting it through for, and into lap 7 we are, so pretty much halfway distance in this race at the end of it. Now the question is, are we seeing anything at the top of the field? While the pit stops are yet to happen for these drivers, at least I could see High B along with Scrubbins on that medium yellow striped tyre so far. Question is for how long they're going to keep it, or for how long they will be right there. But I think it's about, just fighting it there, just keeping it or being there simply, because otherwise it could be a bit of an issue. Not an issue, but in the case of you simply have to get the job done. But when are you going to get the job done, or what time do you think will be the perfect time for you to make the overtake right here? As we can see, I think Zen has stayed within pretty much within at least 2 seconds. Even if Scrubbins has gained the gap to over a second, he hasn't fallen down. He hasn't fallen, to the back massively or dropped down. So it's still together. And I think on that second stint on that soft tire could get exciting. Well, High B is getting us exciting already as he sends it on the inside line into P4. He runs a little bit wide. That could allow the AI to come back, but that won't be the case this time, as High B does get the job done, and a brilliant move from the High B there. And he gets it done. Well done to him so far. While we go back to the top and to the leaders to see what we have in front of our eyes, or in front of our screen, to get the fight on. And what fight are we going to be getting as well? Now, so as I was about to say, on that second stint, it's going to be really crucial. It's going to be pretty crucial to eventually know basically what we're going to be getting, or what we are about to get right there, because it could get exciting, certainly will get exciting, but it's about the case of what we have and what we are about to have, because now not many laps are remaining. They're going to possibly come into the pits this lap, next lap, or at the end of next lap. So by lap 10 we should have everybody pretty much come into the pits and change their tires, because otherwise they just would not have enough time to let's say let's say they will pretty much, not have enough time to then pit in and then come out again. By the looks of it, Scrubbin's going to come in, and Zen will as well.
He was racing.
Oh, shit.
So there, Zen goes wide.
Oh,
Zen
no.
goes absolutely wide and locks up straight into the barriers there. He's going to have to back out.
Nightmare.
Oh my god.
But this might be the moment which could cost him the race victory here. As coming into the pit lane, he went straight up, locking up the tyres and onto the wall. And I think he'd be lucky enough to even not lose the whole front wing right there. Possibly he's going to change it or either keep the same wing and just get new tyres, because only front wing end plate is damaged. But that could have been way big.
I forgot about that.
I think he's surely going to consider himself lucky. But FlySquad is onto the pits as well, going to get his hard tyres off and soft tyres on, while we see High B into the pit lane as well. So it's all happening right here in China in round 2. Racing is, and so are the incidents, as we're only building up into the season. While we have another car, I think that is Racer, is indeed that's that Racer, into the pits as well. So pretty much now, as we predicted, every driver should be coming into the pit. Gap between Zen and Scrubbins is over 11 seconds, I believe. And that's because of a huge type of a mistake which we saw Zen make. And obviously we know Zen, his speed and his performance he's performed throughout the season last year as well, how good he can do, but will he be allowed, or at least will he have enough time to do so? Because at this point, even if unless you're gaining like 5-6 seconds a lap on a driver, even if you're gaining 2 seconds, let's say, from here, still not going to be enough, because we're on in lap 10 already, and lap 14 is as far as we go. What I'm trying to say here is, it's the case of you're going to have time. You're going to try and master your tire management on a game prior to this year.
Oh, AI spins in front of me.
Oh, brilliant. Take another spot.
But it's not going to stay the same, and it certainly isn't the same, especially as compared to F1 24 and 25. And FlySquad, remember, won in 2024 the championship, but 25 was surely dominated by Zen right there. So it's about, we're only in race 2, so nothing can be said unless we have 2 or 3 races remaining at the end of the season, but we're far away from that. We should have our finishes and race enders coming to an end soon, which would technically just get us to the end and get this thing done, and also pretty much have things to detail. It all depends on what we have or what we are going to be getting soon, but considering what we've got at the moment, there should be...
Oh, an AI just appeared right in front of me out of thin air.
It's the prisoner of Uzbekistan. Azerbaijan, should I say.
Dad Racer now right behind an AI car. Meanwhile, Zenzoku we see in front of our screens, who's got Scrubbins, who's over 20 seconds ahead of him right there. While our P2 driver is now coming over the final straight, the final DRS straight before the finish line, and final couple of corners as we have High B, Scrubbins, sorry, in front of our control, and on the screen we see it is going to be Scrubbins who's absolutely dominates it this time and wins the Chinese Grand Prix ahead of everyone, takes the checkered flag, and is going to enjoy that one. Right there with Zenzoku now about to come over the line and finish P2 this time. We don't see that sight a lot of the times, but this season it could be anything you never know about. Well, now the top two has finished, and FlyScott, it looks like he's driving really slow. I'm not sure whether that's on purpose or that's on for somewhat reason, but especially on that corner entry and exit, it feels like he's quite slow. But now it's going to be FlyScott who will get a podium as well over the line in P3 with High B just going to fall short of that top three or a podium finish right there. Come home in P4 and get that P4, which is going to be a lot of points as well. Now that's going to be Dad Racer racing for the first time around here, coming to the line and getting that 7th position right there. There we go, as we have our podium celebrations. Scrubbins at the top, ahead of everybody, celebrating like it should be, getting the trophy in China. It's going to be Scrubbins on P1, Zen in P2 with FlyScott in P3, High B in P4, followed by Dad in P7 with Footy down in P9. So these are your race results, ladies and gentlemen, and this is going to be the end of a nice, fantastic weekend. See you next time in Japan, round 3.